Hi, Tracy Hugelmeyer here of VintagepreneurUniversity.com, where I help vintage sellers start, grow, and scale their business on Etsy. I also own Rustic Guy, which is my vintage shop on Etsy that I've had since 2013. And today I want to talk to you about something that I get really passionate about, and that is, should you accept returns, exchanges, and cancellations? And the simple answer is yes. I fully believe you should be accepting returns, cancellations, and exchanges in your Etsy vintage shop, and let me tell you why. So let's start with returns. So I've been accepting returns in my shop since I started selling on Etsy, and in all of that time, I believe I've had about 7 returns. That's really about 1 a year. It's hardly anything in the grand scheme of things. And that is exactly my point when it comes to a lot of the common objections that sellers have of accepting returns, like it's going to be time consuming, it's going to be expensive, I'm going to have to worry about who's going to pay the shipping there and back. All of these factors that cause sellers to say, I don't even want to deal with it in the first place. And the thing is, if you put your focus into making your shop amazing, making your brand stand out, having excellent customer service, and wowing your customers each time, your chances of getting a return are really low, and any objection that you have, therefore, becomes not important at that point. And I have a training that goes over a lot of these basics of providing excellent customer service and branding. If you're interested, I'll link to it in the notes. It's a free 5-day training, so check it out. But let me give you an example of what I mean. So one of your objections might be that you don't want to deal with the hassle of a return. Well, if you're hardly ever getting a return, then that objection becomes minuscule, right? It becomes more important then to take the barriers away from that customer who is looking at if they want to purchase from you. They're in your shop, you've attracted them. Now you can take away as many barriers as possible. What you want to do is take away as many barriers as possible so you can convert them to a sale. And one of those barriers that is getting in your way potentially is that you not accepting returns. So what I'm suggesting is to flip the way you think about it a little bit and to flip your focus, or put your focus and your energy into doing the things that are going to limit those returns in the first place. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is exchanges. This one is so interesting to me because I've noticed that so many vintage sellers say they don't accept exchanges. Now, I get it in a theoretical sense. Who's going to want to exchange something in a vintage shop? Most of the time, you're either just going to want to return something, if anything at all. So does it make sense to say that you'll accept exchanges? Well, here's a way to flip that thinking. It's not going to result in an exchange, most likely, if you say that you accept exchanges. Think about this. Has anyone ever asked you to exchange something? I don't think I've ever had a request to exchange something. However, what you do when you flip your policies to accepting exchanges is you remove one more barrier that just might be getting in someone's way from making that decision to purchase. So you're increasing your chances just a little bit more of converting that browser, that customer, to a sale. And that's always your goal. A theory that I have is that a lot of sellers do not accept exchanges simply because it's the default template of the policies when you first set up your policies with Etsy. So if that's the case with your shop, take a look and you can edit those at any time. So the last of the 3 is cancellations, and I'm going to take you into my shop really quick to talk about that. So here I am in edit mode in my shop, and I'm at my shop policies, and you can see here in my returns and exchanges, I gladly accept returns, exchanges, and cancellations. And for cancellations, I chose the option before item has shipped. Now let me show you really quickly. if I'm editing my policies, where you can do that. Here in the little drop down, you can change it to anything here within 1 hour of purchase up to within 7 days of purchase. Why I like before item has shipped is because I'm not making anything, so I'm not worried about that. Clearly, if you are making something, you'll have to take that into consideration in your cancellation policy. But before item has shipped is always safe for me, because all I'm doing at that point is, okay, maybe I've already packaged it and I have to unpackage it, but that's unlikely. I think giving the customer the option to cancel before I ship is fair, and it helps on my end as well should that occur. So I just like the wording of that, but choose which one applies to you and your business. Again, unless you're making something, the frequency in which you should get a cancellation should be so low that you shouldn't rule it out altogether. Instead, you should look at it as an opportunity to remove a barrier, because that's going to help you convert more browsers to buyers. Okay, I hope that provides some information for you to make your best business decision when it comes to returns, exchanges, and cancellations. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see all my videos, and click on the little bell to alert you whenever I have a new video that comes out. I also, as I mentioned earlier, will link my free 5-day training for you to look at as well. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.